What's the latest news from America? This photo, this place, and this man are all we seem to be talking about. The question being asked is this: is America's democracy crumbling? Perhaps it is. But let's forget all the grim things for once. Why don't you and I talk about something positive tonight? Do you know America will soon be getting its first second gentleman? It's a first in history. And here's what else is. For the first time in the history of American presidency, the country's first lady will keep her job. Better late than never, right? Hello and welcome to Gravitas Plus. I'm Palki Sharma Upadhyay. The United States of America has a 231-year-old presidential history. The country has seen 48 vice presidents, all men.
I take this obligation freely.
I, Joseph R. Biden, Jr., do solemnly swear.
I, Michael Richard Pence, do solemnly swear.
And what I can't seem to figure out is how did this happen? Anyway, the good news is that Kamala Harris breaks the jinx now. She will be America's first female vice president, which makes her husband, Douglas Emhoff, the country's first second gentleman, the spouse of America's second most important person. This position is not defined in the American Constitution. There is no job description, and the position is unpaid. Historically, this thankless job was reserved for a woman. Doug Emhoff sets in motion a much-needed role reversal by being the first second gentleman. So what will be his role in the White House? In 2016, when Hillary Clinton was running for president, Bill Clinton was asked about his thoughts on becoming America's first gentleman. He laughed it off and said, and I'm quoting, "I've made enough decisions in my life. I want to be told what to do. It's great." Hillary replied, "With respect to my own husband, I'm probably still going to pick the flowers in the china for state dinners and stuff like that." There was speculation that the couple's daughter, Chelsea Clinton, could step in to play the White House hostess. She could also assume the title of First Lady and the task it comes with, because playing a role backstage could be too daunting for the ego of a former male president. One article said that all Bill Clinton would be expected to do as a first gentleman would be to find a cause and no affairs. Historically speaking, the spouse of the president has been engaged in things like choosing the dinner menu for state functions, taking guests on tours of the White House, and being a cheerleader for her husband. The job of the vice president's spouse is not very different. Let's see what Doug Emhoff will make of it. He's 55. He's an entertainment lawyer. He has taken time off to help Harris with her campaign. On social media, Doug Emhoff is Harris's loudest cheerleader. On stage, he fights those who attack her. Emhoff has a legit fan following. They call themselves #DougHive, like beehive. There's also a Twitter page, and most of his fans want to know what Emhoff will do once he enters the White House. Will he return to work? Will he do what a typical spouse of a vice president does? Be an embodiment of an ideal American. Wear fine clothes, be courteous, press-friendly, champion social causes, and always wear a smile. Or will Emhoff balance both? America's president-elect wants him to choose a new path. This is what Joe Biden once told Emhoff. "Doug, you're going to have to learn what it means to be a barrier breaker yourself in this job you're about to take on, America's first second gentleman." The voters expect nothing less. They want Emhoff to be the reflection of America's changing gender norms. Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg's husband, Chasten, once said, and I'm quoting, "Emhoff is somebody who very much wants to help and be of service, and there's really no facade there." The current second lady, Karen Pence, championed the cause of art therapy. Lynn Cheney, the spouse of America's 46th Vice President Dick Cheney, spoke against violent and sexually explicit lyrics in popular music. Her predecessor, Tipper Gore, was vocal about mental health. Here's what Emhoff will do: teach law at Georgetown. His inspiration? Perhaps the next First Lady, Jill Biden. She was America's second lady in the Obama administration. Jill Biden continued her teaching job during her 8 years in the White House. Jill Biden and Emhoff have built a rapport over the campaign months. And we won't be surprised if Jill Biden inspired Emhoff to get into education. When it comes to playing the role of a second gentleman, being the male partner of a political leader, Emhoff can perhaps draw inspiration from outside America, like across the Atlantic. Dennis Thatcher, the husband of former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, He was not just the first gentleman in the UK, but the entire Europe. What was his role at 10 Downing Street? Mr. Thatcher divided his time between golf, gin and cigarettes. A lot was written about Dennis Thatcher, but he never gave an interview except to his daughter, Carol Thatcher. Requests for interviews would be reverted with kind communication that the first gentleman decided long ago to talk openly about nothing but sport. Dennis Thatcher wanted to be a private citizen. He was not seen accompanying Margaret Thatcher on her tours. I think the most we've seen of him is in the latest season of The Crown. What can Emhoff learn from him? Tell me what you think. While I tell you about a 21st century gentleman, Clark Gayford, the partner of New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. Gayford's official title is Spouse of the Prime Minister. He's a TV host and reports say he's returning to his DJ career. While Gayford has accompanied Ardern on international visits, he's known for his life beyond state functions. You can also read up on Marcus Raikkonen. He's Finland's first gentleman, the spouse of Prime Minister Sanna Marin. Let's come back to America. Let's talk about the spouse of America's president-elect, the future First Lady Jill Biden. She will be Douglas Emhoff's partner in the White House. And I say partner because the first and the second spouses are expected to work in close coordination. During his victory speech, Joe Biden said, "Like it or not, Kamala and Doug, you are now family." Along with Emhoff, Jill Biden too will be making history. She will be America's first working FLOTUS, First Lady of the United States. She will keep her job as a professor as she dons the role of the First Lady. Jill Biden won't be on call at the White House 24/7. She's fabulously unapologetic about it. In an interview to an American broadcaster, Jill Biden said, "I want people to value teachers and know their contributions." Jill Biden wants to lift the teaching profession, and she will be working towards this cause every day. Till now, First Ladies have played cheerleaders of their husband. The Constitution does not define their role. First Ladies are expected to give up their careers for an unpaid position of a model American wife. On the 30th of April, 1789, when Martha Washington became America's First Lady, she had no manual to follow. So she embraced her role as a public figure, became the hostess of state events. Abigail Adams followed in Mrs. Washington's footsteps. She also unofficially advised her husband on political matters. Mrs. Madison was called Lady Presidentress. Eleanor Roosevelt transformed the role of the First Lady. She focused on communication and social activism. Bill Clinton drew on Hillary's experience as a lawyer when he ran for president, and he would say, "Vote for me and get 2 for the price of 1. What about Hillary Clinton's compensation? In more recent times, First Ladies have given up their careers to be the flag bearers of American soft power. Michelle Obama was America's first minority First Lady. She had an Ivy League degree and an extensive career to boast of. But she gave it all up in order to play the perfect First Lady. She danced with children. She became an advocate of healthy lifestyle. She supported America's veterans along with Jill Biden. Melania Trump championed children's causes. She was seen visiting schools in America and abroad. And I'm not saying all of this was for nothing. All the First Ladies have made a mark in their own unique way. Their influence in the White House is an open secret. But what about their identity outside it? Jill Biden will be accompanying Joe Biden for state visits, but she will also be seen on the campus of Northern Virginia Community College. That's where she teaches English. The campus that gives her the identity of an educator, one that Jill Biden plans to keep as she steps into the shoes of the First Lady of the United States of America. We say all the best.
Gravitas Plus, co-presented by Skoda. Simply clever.